Wait, wait a minute, hold on a second. Wait, what? It, uh, uh, it's good? Seriously, I'm blown away. The SD Valkylander is actually good. Did not expect this. But anyway, here we go. Hey, what is up everyone? Welcome back to another Build Divers Re-Rise review, and this right here is the SD Valkylander. I'm not sure if I should call it Valkylander like Valkyrie, or I should go with what it says in the box here, and that's Valkylander Vorukiranda. But either way, let's just go with Valkylander. Anywho, if you do want one of these guys of your own, there is a link down there in the description. You can get yours from the awesome guys over at Hobbylink Japan. Without them, this review, or most of my standard Gunpla reviews, would not be possible. Actually, all of my standard Gunpla reviews would not be possible. But anyway, speaking of the review, here we go. So before we take a look at Valkylander itself, we're going to be taking a look at the box. So of course, this is a kit with quite the transformation, which of course is the ST Gundam to Dragon mode there in the background. I personally haven't tried out that aspect of the kit yet, but that should be interesting to look at. Here we have a front and rear image of what the little guy will look like once it's out of the box. And it is worth noticing down here that says it's based on the Estrella Type F. And imagine what this kit would look like if it was a full-size kit with this kind of Valkyrie look. Just with the actual proportions of like the real grade Estrella Type F. I think that would be awesome. And speaking of which, it does say here it's got a Gunlander theme, and if you don't know what that is, I'll pop him up on the screen right now. He's really cute, and that's awesome and all until you see what this looks like, not in chibi SD form. It looks mad, and this fan art right here makes it look even cooler. This is one of the coolest Gundam designs I've ever seen. That is savage. Anyway, while I'm spinning this box around, I will put the price down there in the bottom corner so you can check out how much it will put you back. On this side of the box then, we've got an image of what it looks like in Dragon Fusion mode, and it's interesting to notice that the weapons are all named stuff like GN Gun Sword, GN Gun Shield, that real 00 weapon style of naming. Of course, we have that transformation to Gun Dragon mode, that should be interesting, and the weapon in here can be either in this long rifle mode or split in two, somewhat like the Strike Freedom Gundam. And finally then, we've got some more images of other kits that are in this line, all of which I've reviewed already, so you can check those out in your own time. But anyway, that is enough about the box. Let's check out this little guy right here. Anyway, that right there is what the Valkylander looks like out of the box and snapped together with a little bit of effort, and by a little bit of effort I mean, I did give this a little bit of panel lining here and there just to bring out the details on this because they are quite impressive, and on the whole, I'm surprised by how impressed by this kit I actually am. In general, I'm not the biggest fan when it comes to SD kits. They're just not exactly what I'm looking for from a mecha model kit, but if they keep upping the quality like this right here, I might be interested. So far, so good. So the biggest issue with little dudes like this, or with SD kits in general, is always this. Look at the size of the sheet of stickers that comes with these guys. This isn't the worst I've ever seen, but as you can see, he is missing a lot of the gold that he should have. For example, the bottoms of his feet, etc., they should all be gold, just like what we were looking at here on the side of the box. But I still feel he looks quite good without those stickers. He is missing all of his GN drives, which takes away the kind of 00 aspect that he would have had, but all in all, I still think it looks quite impressive, once again for an SD kit that is. So as usual, there is a quick 360-degree spin so you can see every aspect, every angle of this kit so you can decide whether or not you like it or don't like it yourself. So I will mention the first thing I noticed about this kit right out of the box is how good the plastic is. Sure, we've got metallic injection gold in here that doesn't look the greatest, but besides that, this looks awesome. That orange is one of the best plastics I've ever seen in a kit. It won't translate so well in the video, but it's matte, soft to the touch, and the detail in it is extremely crisp. The color is crazy. It's somewhere between regular Cheetos and Flamin' Hot Cheetos, so it's kind of a reddish orange-ish kind of thing. The grey round back is fantastic. This thing is rocking some almost Nadley-like pipe dreadlocks, which I have to admit I absolutely love. The clear green segment looks phenomenal. That looks so great in front of that typical SD Gundam face. We've got a clear green piece in the chest as well. And of course, it kind of goes without saying that there is a lot of hollow aspects on this kit, as you'd expect with an SD kit, like the backs of the hands and the back of the horns there. So as for a bit of a size comparison, there is the SD Valkylander, side by side with the last kit I reviewed, which is the new Zeon Gundam. Next up then, there is the Justice Knight. There is the main guy himself, Earth 3 Gundam. And finally then, there is a side-by-side comparison of him with the standard SD kit. So as you can see, he is quite on the small side. This is a cross-silhouette SD. Of course, it is the ground Gundam. He does not have the silhouette booster. So as you can see, the Valkylander is a little bit on the short side. I guess he doesn't have his big old shoes on yet. But anyway, as for what comes in the box, let's move on to that. So now moving into the accessories, and there is the SD Valkylander with absolutely everything that it comes with. And that of course is the swan wings, its rockin' pair of dragon shoes, the GN gun sword, the second dragon shoe, the GN gun shield, and the GN mega flare device. So I will mention right now while I'm looking at this, because I have the instructions here for reference for the names, etc., that this really does not look like that, does it? The gold on there is quite classy, obviously painted. The sword has a black and silver blade. We've got gold on the wings, green on the wings. There's a whole lot going on there that really is not going on here. Sure, the Valkylander itself does look quite good, but everything that it comes with all around here is a bit on the basic side. So the first thing we have in here is that little pair of dragon shoes. These are literally just big old chunks of that metallic gold injection plastic. They pop on simply enough. He just pretty much steps on into them, just like so. Next up then is the GN gun sword. This is pretty bad. It's all in one color. It's got a 3mm peg sticking out the side of it, and this side is absolutely horrendous looking. Look at that. It's all hollow. Not cool. This just attaches into the hand just like so. You're going to want to put whatever side you're looking at. You want to put this side forward, not that one, because it looks nasty. Next up then, we've got the swan wings, and if you look closely enough, you can see that these are obviously just a pair of legs. Once again, it looks pretty damn bad from the back. Valkylander has the standard backpack adapter, as you can see there, that double 3mm hole adapter, so that means that just attaches on like so. It should be compatible with most standard backpacks, especially newer high grades. That's what it looks like on. Next up then, we've got the GN gun shield. This is just in 3 colors, which is the gold, that flamin' hot Cheeto orangey red, and the handle in grey around on this side. Of course, this is missing a whole lot of gold trim from around the edge. That is a sticker. I did stick on the eyes because I thought the dragon mode would look a little bit lacking without them. And once again, this just slots ever so simply into the hand, just like that. So essentially right here what we've got is the Dragon Fusion mode, and this doesn't look too bad. It's actually quite cool. Once again, it is missing a lot of stickers, a lot of color accuracy, but on the whole, for something so small, for something SD, it still looks really, really nice. So next up then, we've got these 2 handheld weapons. This one right here is the GN Flare device, and this is the GN Launcher device. They both just slot into the hand, simple enough like this. Pop in like so. There's a closer look at the GN Flare device. Honestly though, this barely even resembles a gun. Barely. And that one right there then is the GN Launcher. So once again, looking a bit wonky. By popping this little segment out like so, and as you can see, this is the dragon's arm. You pop that out, then pop this one into that one in a very strike freedom kind of way. And there we go, there's a quick look at the Mega Flare device. So before we actually get into the last thing in the review, which is the transformation, let's check out the articulation. And something tells me it won't take that long. So first up, the hair round back, that is on a single ball joint, so that can spin round and move a little bit of a side to side way. The head is just a ball joint, so we don't get any giggity in here, sadly, but he does look up, down, ever so slightly, side to side, and all in all, just a ball joint, quite basic. Don't want to forget to mention that by popping off the top of the head, swinging this bit around, popping it in like this, you get that more standard SD looking face. So let's bring that helmet back down, and that's what that looks like. At the shoulder then, we've got a poly cap in there that allows it to move up and down. It's connected into the front of the torso. We've got full rotation at that arm there. The shoulder joint in there, up in the actual shoulder armor. That's another polycap ball and socket, so that can move around like that, rotate, etc. Simple and effective enough. As for the bend at the elbow, there is it. That is, yeah, not much to say about that. Once again, just like you'd expect from an SD, the waist is a ball joint. So pretty much everything on this is a kind of ball joint. So that means he can move forward like this, back like that, side to side like that, and rotate the legs all the way around. There is the kick all the way up to the front. There it is off. Once again, polycap ball joint. There it is all the way to the back. It does get kind of blocked by the butt, but there it goes. As for the splits, that's as good as you're going to get. And as for the bend at the knee, and I guess we should be happy we got a bend at the knee, it's not bad. We got a 90-degree bend there. Pretty cool for a little guy like this. Lastly then, we've got a ball joint here at the ankle, so bye-bye. That is all you're going to get again. Just standard ball joint stuff. All in all though, as you'd expect, extremely basic stuff. So I'm at the end of the review now, and I've just noticed that you're not actually meant to have this little green visor down. I think this looks absolutely awesome. I'm glad I had it down, but you're not meant to. That's part of the transformation. You're meant to actually have it poked back into the helmet like that, and then attached on with its face looking out like that. But I think that doesn't look nearly as cool. I much prefer it with that on. Look how unique that looks, how cool that looks. The way the green pops off the orange, it looks awesome. This is the way I'm keeping it forever. I don't care. So now moving straight into the transformation, and the first thing is to flip those eyes around. We don't have to do anything with that visor because it's already there. Next up, squeeze both legs together, bend them back ever so slightly, spin the forearms around 180 degrees, flip them back a bit, then swing them forward. Remember those parts I said look like legs earlier on? Yep, they're the legs. Pull them off the wings, attach them into the feet. That would be the golden feet. Those then attach onto some pegs on the forearms. This becomes the legs. We flip up the gold part on the front of the flare device, bring it all down to make the lower jaw. These two segments, which were the handles on those weapons, those are now its forward arms. It's little T-Rex arms. Forward arms. After popping off the dragon head, you stick that up here on this peg on the top of the flare device, and then all of that segment you just made, the neck and upper torso, attaches onto the head of the SD Gundam, which now becomes its belly, torso, belly torso. Next up then, we reassemble the wings, this time without those leg segments, so that's just the wings onto that little backpack segment. This time around, that little backpack segment attaches into the back of the SD Gundam's head, not into its body, so up a little bit further. Realign those awesome dreadlocks. The GN gun sword then attaches into the bottom of what we've left over of the shield. The handle of the shield attaches into the GN launcher device, and then the shield section with the sword connects to that to make the tail. The tail then attaches into the feet of the SD Gundam, and that is it finished. So there it is finished, and all in all, there's two things I'll mention about this. One, it's much smaller than I would have expected. I don't know why I'd expect it to be bigger because, you know, it is just SD Gundam rearranged, but it's very small. The other one is, this thing looks terrified. I mean, look at that face. It looks terrified. It looks a little bit strange. But like I mentioned, this does look a little smaller than I would have thought. There is a standard SD Gundam again that is a cross silhouette SD Gundam, which stand up. And I'll pop the Earth 3 Gundam there as well for scale. It's getting a bit crowded on there, but as you can see, it's very, well, it's tiny. Anyway, there is a quick spin of what it looks like completed once again, so you can make your own decision on whether or not you like this particular model. One funny thing I will mention is I only panel lined the actual SD Gundam itself, none of its equipment, so you can straight away see what is SD Gundam parts and what is SD Gundam equipment. So what was the equipment versus what was the little bod. All in all, this does look like you just grabbed an SD Gundam, pulled it apart, and slapped it randomly back together in a general dragon shape. It doesn't really look all that awesome. Personally, I like the SD bot mode. This looks a bit all over the place. So without a single doubt, this is the afterthought when it comes to this model kit, not the main thought, because it doesn't even have that much articulation, and what it does have, well, it tends to just fall apart. For example, one of the things that absolutely kills me is the fact that the head here has no side-to-side articulation at all. All it can do is look upwards like this and look downwards like that, as well as open the bottom of its mouth. And see, things just pop off so easily like that. Also, this is where I realized that little part inside its mouth, the flare device, is not color accurate. The little arms on the side here can move up and down ever so pathetically. The wings up here, the only articulation they have is these ball joints, which are incredibly weak. I mean, like, there it is all the way on, and boo! Boo! Rubbish. Because these legs are a pair of arms, that's what it looks like. It looks like the SD Gundam just has its arms in two big kind of prop leg sort of majiggers. I mean, it just looks kind of odd. There is somewhat a bit of a bend at the knee here, but of course these are the arms elbow joints reversed, so it's not very much. That's it all the way bent. There it is all the way straight, so not great. The ankle is just a ball joint, so you're not going to get much out of that. A very weak ball joint at that, I might add. Yay! Well, tail articulation. It's butt articulation. Also, you can get some up and down at the different aspects, like the hips, the knees, etc. The ankles, but once again, it's a bit awkward, and again, it's all up and down mainly. Finally, over here, we've got some more. Guess what? Up and down, and we have a bit of side to side. So all in all, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense anatomically. Don't expect to really get any sort of poses out of this whatsoever. Anyway, that right there is it for the review, and all in all, I do think this is quite an awesome SD kit, but of course, the Dragon mode is absolute garbage. It is funny, it's interesting, etc., but it doesn't really do a whole lot. It feels weak, flimsy, and isn't great. However, the actual SD Gundam itself is quite impressive. All in all, in general, I guess I'm just gonna have to give this right here, silver tier. To me, this is a bit of a disappointment because straight away I thought this was awesome. The little bot is great, the colors are great. The clear green with that awesome Flamin' Hot Cheetos orange, well, Flamin' Hot Cheetos mixed with regular Cheetos orange. It just looks so good, but when you get to the weapons and equipment, they're flimsy, crappy, well, general, not so impressive SD sort of tack. On top of that, it needs a lot of stickers to be color accurate, and all in all, it felt so good at first, but in the end, it's not great, but at the same time, it is good. It's just a mixed bag, what can I say? At the end of the day, it makes an awesome little robot, the equipment's not great, and the dragon is rubbish. So if you want a cool looking little robot, then this is great. But anyway, if you do want one of your own, there's a link down there in the description. You can get yours at Hobby Link Japan. As always, thank you so much for watching. Consider leaving a like, it does help out the channel quite a bit. And as always, make sure to come back for more Gunpla reviews. I'll see you next time. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention, if you want to pop him onto an action base, you actually have to take off this little chest segment of what would have been the SD Gundam and stick the action base in there. Anyway, bye-bye. As usual, this video would not have been possible without each and every one of you guys who watches my videos, and those of you who support me on the channel memberships, as well as on Patreon, including Caleb Engelhardt, Frank04484, Tyler Sanders, Bullwig Vex, Forged Horizons, Kaiser721, NQG420, and Craig Jerry.